Action!
Hello, everybody. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock Central Daylight Time, Springfield, Missouri, otherwise known as Springburg, USA. I'm Paul Collins, along with my wife Nancy as my co-host, and we are here to do the bucket list. We've been doing this for a while now, and it's designed to provide some information primarily for folks 50 and older, but for those under 50, you probably have family members who are 50 or older. So this is good information for you as well. Some things we need to keep track of. Anyway, it's a sunshiny day, a warm day in Springburg, USA. And Nancy, I'm very thankful that it is a beautiful day in the Ozarks.
I know, but every day, depending on how you look at it, is a beautiful day.
That's right. And I think the older you become, the more you appreciate every day. Every day has a beauty of its own. It really does.
Just like every person.
That's just like every person. That's right. Now, the information I'll be providing for you today could be, in some quarters, a little bit controversial. But I would say, rather than controversial, it might be argumentative, but then again, it's backed up by science and statistics, for whatever that's worth, and we will go with it. But before we get to that, I want to remind folks that this is dated because this is July the 19th, and we just finished participating in what's known as Acts Fest. Acts Ministry has an annual gathering called Acts Fest, and it started last Thursday, and it went Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we finished with a time of worship yesterday afternoon here in the headquarters building of Acts Ministry. Acts Ministry's headquarters here in Springfield, Missouri. And it was about, I've forgotten, maybe the 25th Acts Fest or something like that, because Acts Ministry is now 28 years young.
Wow.
28 years ago, we started it, Mama, and retired from it 8 years ago, but we're still volunteers and happily so. Anyway, I've been asking you to contact me through the Acts Media Group website. I'm going to change that this morning because I want you to be able to get a hold of me quickly. And my website is drpaulcollins.com. Very simple. And the doctor is abbreviated. It's DR. There's no periods anyplace. It's just drpaulcollins.com. And through that website, you can contact me with questions or more information or suggestions as to what you would like to have discussed on the bucket list and anything else. And concerning suggestions, not this next Monday, but the following Monday, which will be August the 2nd, our guest will be Dr. Jamie Durfee. She's been a guest before back on when we were doing the happy hour, and she's our primary care physician. She's a little lady about the size of Nancy. She's very young, maybe 35 years old by now, I think. Very bright, very brilliant, very beautiful, and she will be with us as our guest. If you have questions that you would like for me to pose to Dr. Durfee, send them to me through the website, drpaulcollins.com. Now, she will not give medical advice per se, specifically over the air, of course. But when it comes to health matters, she can provide us some insight as to the science that's involved and all of that. Well, Nancy, as usual, this morning, I'm already running out of voice. For some reason, allergies and postnasal drip seems like it's taking a toll on me, but we'll get through this. I'm going to clear my throat a little bit. Anyway, now, the first thing on the agenda today is noise pollution. Now, you may not call it pollution, so let's just call it noise. I read in my research this morning just this morning that noise is becoming a major problem, a health issue in the United States of America. It has been proven, not only scientifically, but statistically, that people exposed to a lot of noise or loud sounds, you may call it music, but it's loud, increases the risk of strokes 35%. 35%. Think about that. Now, there are lots of sources of loud sounds. And we're talking things that are not like sonic booms that only happen occasionally, or people who live next to a major highway and they're hearing 18-wheelers rumble by. No, we're talking about sound that's very loud, that's very personal to you. Your lawnmower, for instance. We have a neighbor, he always wears earplugs, even with his electric mower. Those electric mowers make noise. I wear earphones, which I haven't put on yet, like these, when I'm riding our riding mower, because our riding mower is loud. Now, I'm going to be going online this week and checking to see if I can find a new and more improved muffler for our old riding mower. The dealership for our brand of mower closed up a few months ago here in Springburg, USA, so I can't go there, but I can go online and see what I can find, because I'm going to try to tone it down a little bit if I can, but it's still going to make noise. So I'll still wear these kinds of things when I'm mowing the yard. Now, here's where we might get into a little bit of controversy, but we have to bring it up. Many of our churches today have what they call praise bands. They have guitars, they have drums, and they have a sound system they can really crank up, and they are dangerous. Now, folks, you may want to argue with me about this. That's all right. Go to my website, drpaulcollins.com. Send me whatever you want to send me. I assure you I'll love you no matter what you say. But science doesn't lie in this case. The sound in your church may be too loud. We were invited to a local church a couple of years ago. We did not go. The man said, we will give you some earplugs because the music is loud. I'm not going to go to church where the music is that loud. And we had another friend who has since moved out of state, but he, like myself, he was wearing hearing aids. He was going to his church, taking his hearing aids out, and he was still suffering because the music was so loud. He took a sound meter that gauges the sound as to when it becomes dangerous, and he showed the music director how the sound level was so loud, so high, it was dangerous for the eardrums, and said, maybe you want to turn the music down. And he said, no, we're not going to do it. We like it loud. So it's in churches, and it's other places, in public gatherings, where today it seems like what they want to call music, it has to be loud or they don't consider it music. Now, granted, I'm an older guy, so I go back to when music was soft and soothing, and singing voices were heard. They weren't drowned out by instruments. And I know that's a different time, a different generation. Doesn't alter the fact. The fact is, the music is too loud, and it's affecting people, and it is causing a 35% increase in strokes. That I read this morning in a reliable publication that specializes in news that could affect senior citizens. So, but the effect is not only for senior citizens, but it's also affecting the auditory mechanism of the young people who are walking around with earbuds, with music cranked up. Now, about 9 years ago, I met a young doctor of audiology, man with a 4-year college degree, undergraduate work, with his major in all things science, and then 4 years for his doctorate in audiology. That's a new doctorate. It's kind of like doctors of podiatry are. They have 8 years of education beyond high school to practice podiatry. They are doctors of podiatry. You have doctors of audiology. This young man chose audiology because he saw the business aspects of it. And when I met him 9 years ago, through him, I received my first set of hearing aids. And he had not been in business long, but he already had like 12 clinics because he recognized there's a generation that's destroying their hearing. Now, actually, it was 8 years ago, so it was a little less than 9. Today, he has, well, a month ago, so he may have more now. A month ago, he had 250 clinics that he's put together in 9 years. Think about that. Because people are destroying their hearing with loud music. Because that's the primary culprit, more so than 18-wheelers or motorcycles or whatever. The real culprit is what's going in here continually. So I encourage you, if you are a senior citizen, to take care of your ears. I've told people that growing older is not for sissies, and it can be expensive. 8 years ago, my hearing aids were about $4,500. The technology's gotten better and prices have come down. And these I got about a month ago, $3,500. But to operate them, I had to buy a new smartphone, which was like $450. So you're knocking on the door $4,000. Now, I was not subjected to loud music when I was growing up. So my hearing deteriorated because of age. But you will hasten the loss of your hearing if you continue to be addicted to loud music. And I do believe that it is somewhat addictive. When you see people who can't sing a note, who can't write music, can't even write poetry, walking around continually with earbuds and one of these in their hands or something similar to it, listening to music all the time, and the music turned up loud, that's an addiction, folks, pure and simple. So now, am I treading on thin ice here saying that? No, because I can provide the documentation to back it up from the world of psychology as well as other medical sources. Now, anything you want to add about the hearing loss, Nancy?
Sometimes you can have hearing loss and you don't even know it because you get so used to hearing or not hearing that it just goes over your head. And I have to watch because I believe that I probably have some hearing loss too. But
Yes.
anyway, what did you say, Paul Cons?
Go ahead.
I'll tell you
As they
what.
say in the Ozarks, gourd head.
Gourd head.
Gourd head.
It's gourd head. No. When I used to work at a nursing home, I was always very aware of people's hearing.
Mm-hmm.
If they can't hear, They don't know somebody's talking to them. They don't know about anything that's going on around them. They may not even hear the wheelchair or the loud person that's walking down the hall. So, it's like if you're driving a car and you've got earbuds on or I don't know, whatever, but you think you're just fine and dandy and safe. No, you're not, because you're not aware, hearing wise and maybe mind wise, about what's going on around you.
Speaking of cars, don't you just love it when some guy pulls up beside you at a stop sign and he has all the windows of his car rolled down and he's got some kind of loud sound system built into the back seat? It's full of sound equipment. He's got it cranked up and you're hearing this boom, 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 boom. That's when a person could almost lose their religion, Nancy.
Is that right?
Yeah. And these are guys usually who are unemployed. Now, here again, this may be controversial. Let's just call it the way I'm seeing it through my 86-year-old eyes. These guys, if they're out in the heat of the day and in the cool of the night, they're not working, and they're probably on disability or unemployment, probably disability, or they're living off of some woman who's getting child support from an absentee because of an absentee husband, or she's getting financial aid through the state.
You could say
Yeah, something. Anyway, this guy can afford hundreds of dollars worth of sound equipment, and he's not working. That does not compute. But that's the kind of world we're in, and that's the guy who's killing his own ears and pulls up beside you at a stop sign, and even though you have your windows rolled up, it's still loud.
See, the thing of it is, though, he probably already has a hearing deficit, all
That's right.
because, and he does not realize how very high he has the music
Well,
raised.
Well, I agree up to a point, but I think these guys on purpose show off. That's why they have all the
Yeah.
windows rolled down, is because they want to show off that they have a loud machine, loud sound system. Okay. I don't want to beat that horse to death, as they say in the Ozarks, but sound is a problem. We have people experiencing strokes because they've been listening to loud music or other loud sounds. And we have people who are destroying their hearing because of loud sounds. And you don't have to wait until you're my age to lose your hearing. The proof in the pudding is a young man with his doctor of audiology degree who went in 9 years from one office to 250 clinics. There's a lot of younger people who have significant hearing loss because of noise. Okay. Be sure and get in touch with us through drpaulcollins.com and give us your insights, your experiences, your questions, your comments, or your criticism. We're open to that. Now, let's change the topic. This also affects older people and those who have older people in their family. And it has to do with some of the scams that are out there, some of the trickery that's involved so they can get their hand in your pocket and get their hands on your credit card, get their hands on your wallet, on your money. There's several different sources where these scams come from. There's no way we could cover them all because we have other things to talk about on the bucket list today. But those of you who have senior citizens in your family, carry this message to them. And those of you who are senior citizens, take this message seriously. Your telephone, whether it's a landline or one of these stupid smartphones, whatever it may be, the crooks have learned how to use it. Now, some of these I would call honest crooks. What they're doing is not illegal, but certainly may not pass the ethical smell test. I receive a lot of calls, and I'm sure you do, wanting me to give to a fund that may be for firefighters, sheriff's deputies, law enforcement in general, etc. And usually the person that calls has a great radio voice. It's a man, as a rule, and he's very complimentary about, sir, I know you appreciate our fine law enforcement folks, et cetera, and can I put you down for X number? And I say no. All of our discretionary income is spoken for. Well, sir, and they'll work their way down to like $5 a month. Could we, or just $5? Because these guys are working on commission, you understand? And I had one hang up on me the other day when I proceeded to tell him that I said no, and no means no. He hung up on me. I get these calls several times a week from various places. Now, they not only come in that form over the phone, but there are the text messages come through saying that somebody has charged a whole lot of money to your Amazon account. And there was a lady in our area just the other day on the news, and she wasn't a senior citizen. Very attractive, middle-aged woman, seemed very bright, and yet she bought $5,000 worth of gift cards at some store, a big box store, put it that way, supposedly to pay these people to get her record with Amazon cleaned up. And then they called her back and wanted her to empty her bank account, her checking account. And first they asked her to empty it and send it to them. And first they wanted to empty it. They wanted all of her banking information. And she said, no, I won't give you that. Well, you empty it, whatever you have, send it to us, and we will straighten out your account with Amazon. She went to the bank. Now, this was in a little town right here near Springfield. She went to the bank, and the woman who was customer service was sliding the money across the desk to her, and she said, I'm concerned. Are you all right? Is somebody asking for all your money? And she showed them the communication, and the woman pulled the money back, and she said, please, let's go. We need to talk about this. And the lady said, can we go into another room where it's private? Because she was out in the lobby. We went in the other room, and she told what was happening to her, that Alert Banker saved her bank account. I don't know how much was in it, probably thousands of dollars. Saved it. Can you imagine a middle-aged lady, very attractive, seemingly very intelligent, being taken to the cleaners like that? Well, if it happens to someone like that, what about the seniors in your family? Are you looking after them? And if you're a senior, are you willing to have a check and balance system? That's very important, folks. Nancy and I are senior citizens. I'm 10 years her senior. We are a check and balance, but we also have a reliable financial planner. We have a reliable banker. We have a reliable lawyer. We have a reliable CPA. Checks and balances. Now, some of you Christians are going to say, well, I'll let God take care of me. Well, there's an old saying, and I'm not sure it's in the scripture. God helps those who help themselves. That's not in the scripture, but it's a good saying right out of the Ozark Hills. Another way of putting that, if you want to talk Christianese, Christian language, is faith without works is dead because it's alone. So have a checks and balance on these issues. Now, there are other ways that scams come along. They come through the United States Postal Service.
Mm-hmm.
Every week without fail. In fact, I should have saved them, brought a stack of them sometime. I'll get envelopes this size, big envelopes, and they look very important, urgent, and all that sort of thing. And then you have to tediously They're difficult to open. You get them open, and it's full of all this stuff in large print so that older people can read it. And they are wanting you to go all the way, read all the way through about all the threats to Social Security and save Social Security. And we want you to sign this petition and send some money to help us save Social Security. I'll get those about 2 or 3 times a week. I get them from a political party wanting me to save the nation. I get them from groups that have a particular stance on life issues for the unborn, both sides of the fence, wanting me to sign a petition and send a donation to support their work. It's amazing how many older people respond and send some money. That's why the mail keeps coming, is because they're getting enough money they can afford to do it. That's a legal scam, but ethically it will not pass the smell test. So they come this way, they come through the Postal Service, they come through the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. I get, as I've said many times, you may have heard me, I get about 200 emails a day. I process them. Some of them are out and out blatant attempts to get money. And I'm sorry to say, some of them come from what's supposed to be a Christian ministry or ministries. There's quite a few of them. Others come from political causes. Others come from social causes. Others are so-called business opportunities. Oh, how many of those do I receive? They all cost money. They not only cost your time and your energy, they cost money. Checks and balances again. Be willing to let other people in on your inside so that you have more than one set of eyes looking at things. So the online stuff by your computer, your phone, and the United States Postal Service. Now, those who are older people watch a lot of television. They just do. Television has a number of people that I consider doing very unethical things, in my mind. They're using their celebrityhood to promote reverse mortgages, for instance. One is a big-time movie star and TV star, says they're not out to somebody's not out to steal your money. If that was the case, I wouldn't be here. Give me a break. He's being paid to do a TV commercial, and every time it runs, he gets residuals. And when you are just about an over-the-hill actor and you've got a TV series that's about ready to shut down, you're going to jump at any chance to continue working, even though you're well into your 70s. It's money, 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 money. If you want to know the truth about reverse mortgages, follow the money. You think they're doing that free? Do you think they're just providing that service out of the goodness of their hearts? I don't think so. There's profit. They make money with this. Be careful what you do about your home, senior citizens. Be careful. We know some who are tied up in reverse mortgages, no way out that they know of, but there's a way out, but for some, not all. Anyway, be careful what you're doing about that. Then we have others on television, and there's a lot of that going on. We have others that are preying on veterans. This is particularly disturbing because they're telling veterans that if you use this government program, which is for veterans, you can refinance your house up to 100% of your equity. And they're making it look like a good thing. I mean, you can get $50,000 or more. Think what you could do with that. Well, you have to pay it back, folks. They don't make loans for nothing. They charge interest, but they're wanting veterans who've worked hard to buy a house and get a lot of equity or pay for it. They're wanting them to refinance through their program and do something else with that money. Maybe if some who may do that and then invest in cryptocurrency. And guess what? I watch the news every morning about the financial news. Cryptocurrency is way down from where it was. There's some people taking a bath on Bitcoin and Ethereum and some of the others. Okay, I'm not a financial advisor. I only know what I saw on the stock market reports and the financial reports. And by the way, the stock market got up to a little over 35,000 the other day. This morning it's a little over 34,000. So there are people making money as it plays in there. Be careful, folks. Don't try to be. Don't be taken in by the offer of reverse mortgages or the offer of if you're a veteran taking out a big loan on a second refinancing your house and investing in cryptocurrency or the stock market when you don't know anything about it. Please don't do that. Have checks and balances always. Well, Nancy, there are other scams around. People that come to your door.
Roofers.
Huh?
Roof.
And the roofers, yeah. Now, the roofers, they call and they say, we're going to be in your neighborhood and a free roof inspection. Watch it. It's proven. This is a proven fact. They will go up on your roof, and if you don't have hail damage, they have a little hammer. They will make hail damage. And we had a professional roof inspector and appraiser tell us this about a week ago. He went up on our roof and he came down and he works for a roofing company. He said, you don't have enough hail damage to worry about. Everything's okay for a while. He said, if we have a big hailstorm, call me. I'll come back and take another look. That was honest. What do we know? I'm not going to get up on the roof and look for two reasons. Number one, I don't want to. Number two, Nancy wouldn't let me.
That's right.
But we had an honest guy. So sometimes they'll call you on the phone. They'll just simply say, we're going to be in your neighborhood. We'll give you a free roof inspection. Don't do it. Don't do it. Whatever you do, don't do it. We'll have them come to the door. We have some who will come to the door and want to do work on your trees. Mm-hmm. Watch out. Because we had someone a neighbor recently, they didn't come back, like they said. They worked on the trees till about noon, left some stuff in the yard, said, we'll be back this afternoon, finish up. They never showed up. We had, in fact, our son was sharp enough. We were out of town, and some guys came by, and he didn't take their first offer. He negotiated with them. He talked them down on how much to take out these limbs, and these limbs that were dead in big oak trees in our front yard. And he got the right price. And they wanted all the money. And he said, nope. Take these down. He said, I'll pay you. I'll watch. I'll be here and watching you. And they took those down. They said, we'll be back this afternoon. And he said, I'll pay you for these. He paid them for what they had done. They never came back. They wanted the whole thing, but he knew better. So he got a pretty good deal on getting our trees handled. But the scams are out there. Watch them, folks. Watch out for them. It's too bad that we live in that kind of world. Now, Nancy, I want to get off here to another aspect of what seniors need to be watching out for. The crime rate. People will come to your door and force their way in. Don't even crack the door. If you don't know them, don't even crack the door for them.
In fact, always keep your front door locked.
Always.
If you got what was it, a clear door.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
open the inside door, then you've got a clear door. Always keep your clear door,
The storm door.
storm door.
If you don't have one, you might want to think about putting one on and keep it and make it a good one and keep it locked so that you can open the door, the inside door a little bit, see who's out there. If you don't know them, don't open the outside door. Don't give them access because they do force their way in.
Mm-hmm.
And Springburg, USA is not immune to this kind of behavior. Also, don't leave your vehicle in the driveway unlocked. Don't leave it in the driveway. If you have a garage, put it in the garage. Nancy, we have people that I read about who have garages, but for some reason, my mom would say they're dilatory. I call it lazy. They don't put the car in the garage at night, and they wake up to find out their catalytic converter is gone. Or they wake up and find out that someone broke the window
Mm-hmm.
in their car,
Mm-hmm.
or they picked a lock, or they have one of those things open, with a locked door. And believe it or not, women still leave purses in cars.
That is so dumb.
And these are not all older people. These are younger people even. Then if you're at the supermarket or a big box store, male or female, watch yourself in the parking lot. Be alert. Now, some of you are going to say, Paul, you're just pulling a lot of scare tactics on us. No.
We see this all the time.
This is truth. This is truth.
Mm-hmm.
You must be alert to your surroundings. And when you're in the store, be alert. Where can you go to be safe?
Yeah.
Always have a safe place picked out.
And ladies, hold on to your purse. Don't put it in the
Shopping cart.
the shopping cart and turn your back and get busy looking at something. That'd be very, very, very easy, especially if you've got a purse that does not zip at all on top. People can put their hands in and take whatever they want before you even turn around.
That's right. That's
And
right.
they may take your whole purse and you may never know it because you're so used to leaving it there. And that's it. And in your billfold or whatever is maybe a lot of information that nobody should have but you.
Well, another thing we need to be alert about is watch out for shootings that go on.
Yeah.
And we've had more than our share here in Springburg, USA. In fact, just the other day in front of a neighborhood market, there was one man shot another, and he did some other shooting. Some bystanders weren't hit. And in Washington, D.C., I guess it was yesterday, they had shootings, several people injured and others killed. Washington, D.C. had their 100th shooting fatality yesterday, the 100th of this year already. Mm-hmm. So these are very, very real and clear problems, whether it's your hearing or whether it's the scams or whether it's your safety as a person. These are concerns for every senior citizen and for those who are becoming senior citizens and those who have senior citizens in your family. Now, another thing, because we have about 3-4 minutes I can do this in. Watch the fine print. Mm-hmm. If you wear glasses, and even with that you have trouble with fine print, get yourself a good magnifying glass. They have some that are even battery powered that really magnify. Don't ignore the fine print. There's some people who don't want to fiddle with the fine print. They don't want to read it. When I was real young, I was told that when it came to insurance policies, they said the big print giveth and the fine print taketh away. And I've told that to our insurance agents. There's more than one of them. And they say, that's right. And we all laugh about it. But when you need that coverage and it's not there, then it matters. But it's not just in insurance policies. It's other kinds of contracts and things that you see online or things that come in the mail. Read the fine print. If it's something that's going to cost you some money or your time or your energy or property, whatever it is, if it's going to if it's promising to increase you, read the fine print. If it's promising to protect you, read the fine print. If it's a product that's being offered, read the fine print. And by the way, when it comes to products being offered, I have resources that tell what to watch out for. For instance, if they say this offer ends at midnight, forget it. If they say this is a one-time opportunity, forget it. Or if they use the word urgent, forget it. If you don't watch your money, you're making a mistake because it's for sure somebody else is watching it. Mm-hmm. If you don't manage your money will manage you, or someone else will manage your money.
That's right.
And if you don't manage what goes into your ears, then the noise pollution, the loud music will manage your ears. Mm-hmm. Now, Nancy, to wrap up today, we will be looking forward to Dr. Durfee being with us 2 weeks from today. Mm-hmm. Our little primary care physician, bright as she can be, smart as a whip, and highly trained. And she loves us and we love her. And she will be with us as our very special guest on the bucket list and have some good things to say to those who are 50 and beyond, and those who have folks you care about who are 50 and beyond. And then those that want to have questions for her, want her insight on, you can contact us with those concerns through drpaulcollins.com. That's www.drpaulcollins.com. And you can send me an email through there, and I will respond. I guarantee it. I will respond. You can also, via Facebook Messenger, I even read those. Yes, I read them, but not as reliable to get to me as going through the website. The website is best, drpaulcollins.com, with your questions, concerns, comments, etc., and we'll be glad to handle them. Well, this has been a wonderful day. We've covered a lot of territory, got a lot of territory to cover next week, and then a week after that, Dr. Durfee will be with us. So I can tell by the clock on the desk that it is time for us to wrap it up. So, Nancy, what do we say to them?
Arrivederci.
Or stay blessed. Bye.